I'm audible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Okay, so let's start the session because already we have wait 5 minutes. So it is request to you all kindly join the session on time because reminder also given to you in your group. But yet only 7 candidates have joined, but not an issue. So, when what was the yesterday session? What topic has been covered in yesterday session? I think there were some discussion about the data, big data, okay, and characteristics of how we consider a big data and what are the problems that we are facing in a real time data process. Okay, so according to that phenomena, if we talk about the data, already these things has been explained in very deep manner. The data is basically discrete values that basically convey any information that may describe any quantity, any facts, and any measurements. Okay. Data may be collected by using various techniques like as a measurement. Suppose there is a measurement of any land, like we have 20 square feet room, or we can that we have 500 gaj land. Okay. Query any questions when we put in front of someone and we are getting a few specific data like suppose any you visit to any college or any institutes coaching centers where you ask questions to their particular we can that career prospective person, he answer to you whether it may be in written form or whether it may be in what in verbal form. Analysis analysis, suppose there are 60 students in the class and you want to know that which students have their weight, their height, and their statics in study, how they are good in study. So at that time, everything that we are doing, basically it's performing on the data. Okay, so data is not just a we can say that a word, it's also a real science in today real world. Data can be organized in, we can say that in factual analysis like graphs or charts or for different representations and models we have discussed in an earlier session we can use. So you can see that in if we talk about the data, so according to real time, we have different kinds of data that we are getting in different domains like geographical data. Geographical data basically is the data that contains our movements, or we can that when we travel from any location from any source to destination and we want a help, then by using Google Map we can get a geographical track or route for any particular path. Suppose we have to travel and we did not know the path, then by using the Google Map you can travel. So what it will do? It will store your all the history. Cultural data, it may be any religious data that may be related to your religious to related to worship. Scientific data, basically this data also kinds of data that can be used to analyze about the rocket speeds, about the time will taken by a rocket from Earth to space. Okay, financial data, statistical data, meteorological data, natural data, and transport data. So these are the key forms of data that we are using. Okay, many more are there, but these are the few I have taken here. There may be hospitalization, hospital domain data. There may be real estate data. There may be telecommunication data. Okay, so all these things basically are discussing upon the data. You can say that in real time, what is going on? Everyone is working. They are using smart services. And what data analysis are doing here? Basically, according to the data, they are using different tools and getting the results on their screens. And according to that result, they are making the decision. Suppose there is a sales company. Okay. There is a company who basically deals in the product, who are selling the some product might be maybe related to health product. Okay. And we want to know that how many product they have sell in last week. Okay. So how they will do? They will analyze their data, what they have stored, and according to that factual analysis, they will make the decision that where is the problem, whether they need to change the price of product, whether they need to change the quality of the product, or whether they need to make some improvement in the quality of product. So all the prescriptions and decisions will be made according to after the analysis of that data. So now this is the real things that we require in big data. Okay, because data is basically generated on daily basis, and on the on daily basis, when that data is when this data has been generated, then what we are getting? We are getting number of things, number of specific facts about the data. Okay, how data is stored in computing environment, because you can see that when data is coming from various sources and it's coming in large quantity, then it is also a very critical issue here that how data is stored in computing environment. Okay, computing means what is the meaning of computing? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by computing? What is computing?
So performing calculations.
That is computing. Basic. We can say that computing is an environment where it provides us ability to exchange informations between the computers, because how you will exchange any informations by a network or through a network. So computing environment is an environment where many computers or more than one computers are connected to, via a network, and they are exchanging their information. Okay, understand what is the meaning of computing? Now you can see that every company have their own email server, and everyone is basically storing their data. Why? Because they require that data, and that data can be accessed by their employer from anywhere, from any location. Okay, so you can see that there are number of email servers, and every email servers basically it and every email server keeping informations or details or data, and that data is basically stored. You can see that here in in cluster environment. So everything what we are getting here, it will be stored in database storage. Okay, and that storage will be accessed by using a protocol. Okay, so now you can see that this storage basically accessed by different email servers by using a computing network. So at that time here a network play a role or play a work like as a bridge to extract and to get the data from different locations. Okay, so this is the basic data storage that we are using in computing environment. Okay, because why we require data storage in computing environment? Because computer are connected into the network. So when they require to get any information, so the storage also should be connected in computing environment. So that's the reason you can see that all computers are connected, and when required they are accessing data by using a specific applications. Security protocols also added here, like firewall, and many more security platform also used by the different organization to protect their data. Okay, any query by anyone? Any query? Now, data generation sources. According to the survey, it has been found in 2022 that 90% operations was basically transformed into the online smart services. So, according to that perception, we can say that now we have various data generation sources who are generated data in very highly manner, in very large quantity, or we can say that in high volume. Okay, so according to that demand, or according to that situation, we can discuss here few data generation sources. Like, first thing is the web. Can anyone tell me how web can be described as a data source generation? Anyone, please? Anyone?
Sir, many web pages include a form which user submits.
Yes, because why web form is there? Web form basically used to collect or to submit the data. Okay, or basically they are they contain some specific data. So at that time, we consider that, we feel that the very key and very highly source of data generation is web platform, right? Like we have lot of services, IRCT services to fill the admissions form. Okay, to search anything. Google also generating their data in terms of he store the logs details of the users when you are searching anything. So web is a very key platform here which generating data in very large amount. Second thing is cloud. About the cloud, I have discussed in the earlier class that cloud is providing you services in different forms. So on the cloud, large amount of data, high volumes of data has been generated in real time. Media, where we exchange the basically data in terms of photos, in terms of text, in terms of videos, like Facebook is there, WhatsApp is there, Telegram is there. So these are the popular media who also generating data in very high quantity. Legacy documents, legacy documents, few documents like we can say some policy document that has been introduced by the government or by the company. So you can get from here also. You can generate and can upload them into the NSAI, National Server Archive of India, at NSI also. So all they are, what they are doing, they are also generating data. Network in stream monitoring technology, network and stream monitoring technology. What they are providing? Basically these technology are providing you feature to monitor or to view or to trace any activity of any particular candidate. Suppose you are sitting in your office and you want to monitor about your house, that there should not be enter any illegal person at your home. So by using VoIP cameras, you can monitor your house. But how? Data will be generated here because recording will be there. So that recording will be terms in terms of data. Again, data warehouse appliances, number of data warehouse appliances that we are using in real time, like Bluetooth watch is there, smart watch is there, okay, smart car is there. Activity generated data, basically this also kinds of data like jet plane data. In jet, we have a black box who contains and maintains all the events of aeroplane in starting of travel until unless its travels did not completed. So in real time, if we study about that, so all in all sources we are getting data. Social influencer basically they use the social media platform like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and they are basically providing the informations like training content, study content. Okay, prank videos also there. You can see that on Facebook. There are multiple YouTubers, bloggers are there who are giving informations, who are blogging to a particular food vendor, who are blogging to a particular technology, who are also giving different messages in by using a specific script in terms of video. So, but main thing is that again here data is generated. So we cannot say that what event we are doing, every event is generating data. Social network profile are there and databases are there, some standard databases are there, and IoT, Internet of Things. Again, a new domain introduced here that now smart devices are connected, and by using these smart devices, performing any task, it may be in house. We can say that washing machine that controlled by the AI, driverless car, driverless metros, all the equipments and gadgets who are controlling by the AI applications. Okay, card punch system at metro terminal or in a metro environment. So these are the all key sources that are generated in data in real time. So when data are coming from all these sources, now this data can be referred as big data. That means the data that is very large in size and coming from various sources and cannot be processed by a traditional software. Why? Because by web, data is generated in maybe in structured form. By media, it data generated in image form. Okay, by monitoring is trend, it's generated in video form. By activity generated data, data generated in log form. So now you can say that data basically mix up here and stored in a common place, and size of that data is very large. So at that time now, we have a big problem here that when varieties of data has been coming and is stored in a common store, now how that data will be managed and that data will be processed. So this is the key things that we have to work on that big data. That's the reason we are studying about the big data technology. Okay, you can see that there is the real time facts that we are getting. Lot of data sources are there. Facebook is there, Twitter is there, Salesforce is there, Amazon, AWS are there. All are YouTube are there. They are generating data. All data has been processed and it is stored into the data warehouse. And by using the intelligent applications, by using the AI application, we are getting statistics, we are getting results, we are getting the real facts about the data. So this is the things that we have required when we have a big data. Any question by anyone till here? Any query by anyone?
No, sir.
So now you can see that data is coming. It may be in API form. It may be generated through API. It may be in doc form. It may be in web form, or it may be in any machine generated data. Okay. All data will be processed and their factual analysis will be there. Okay. So this is the real scenario in big data because data is coming from various sources. That data in big in large volume. From large volume, now we have to extract that data. After extraction, we have to analyze that data and their results we have to use for our business decisions. Okay. So now fifth things that comes in the minds that what are the basically challenge that we are facing in data management when basically data increase in the size. Okay. So first challenge that we have in front of us, database management and access method. Database management, because you can see that data basically coming from various sources. Already I have demonstrated the example. through applications, through the DBMS and through the users. And whole data has been stored into the common storage area. That data may be in relational database form, it may be in hierarchical form, it may be flat file, or it may be in object database. So now, because there are four types of data and that data has been stored. Now, when we access and manage this data, what will be the methodology? What kinds of software we require so that it can manage all kinds of data? Because relational data can be managed by the relational software, but what will be about the flat files? What will about the hierarchical database and what will about the object database? Okay, so now you can see that we have four kinds of data and we cannot handle it by the traditional software. Traditional software means with the relational database management system. Now, this is the big challenge in front of us because in today time we are getting data in similar manner, similar fashion. Okay. Second thing, data mining required to retrieve data from historical data. You can see that we have generated lot of data in last 2 years. Okay, every company have very heavy data, but now he have to perform the data mine. Now, what is the meaning of data mining? What is the meaning of data mining? Anyone can you please? Okay, suppose this is a bank. Okay, in this bank there are 5 lakh account. Okay, in this bank there are 5 lakh account. Now, suppose there is a person who did not use the banking services from last 2 years, and in last 2 years he have deposit 5,000 rupees in his bank. Okay, now after 2 years he go to the bank and he want to get some money from the bank from his account. Suppose he want 2,000 rupees from his bank. Now, what will be the process? How bank will make the processing of 2,000? Firstly, he will check from his record because I have already told you in last 2 years he did not go to the bank. So you can see that bank need to search data of 2 years because last 2 years his account did not accessed by him. So you can see that a bank have 5 lakh account. So bank need to access that data. Then this data is known as historical data because it's a 2 years data. So when we have a data of a particular timeline or a particular time of interval of 1 year, 2 year, 1 week, 2 week, or 10 years, then this kinds of data is known as historical data. So now it's a very critical thing that how we will access only that particular data of that person and will ensure that whether wrong information should not be conveyed to that person because if he have money in his account then he can get 2,000 rupees, otherwise bank will deny that there is no sufficient balance in their account. But how he will ensure? Firstly, he need to make the mining. Mining means he need to search from that data. Okay, but you can see that every year bank customer has been increased and they are using services of bank and data has been increased day by day. Data is increasing, so at that time we require a data mining so that we can fetch real and accurate data from that data warehouse. Okay, another example is there. Suppose there are in 2021 or in 2020, suppose a student was appeared in CBSE exam. Okay, in class 12th exam. But what happened? He lost his result and he want to check his result from the website. So so all of you know that at for last 5 years data can be accessed from the website. You can check a result of last 10 years. So how it will be happen? He will go to the website of CBSE. He will input their roll number. After inputting the roll number, he will search his data. So you can see that when he will search he will search from their data. Okay, so he will get their result. At the time, if his result did not match, or every time when he is searching, result got changed, then there is some problem in data mining. So these kinds of things we require when we are fetching data from large database, then relevant data should be mined from the data. So this is known as the data mining. Next one is how quickly results shall be processed to user. It's another challenge here that when we are working in a distributed environment and there is a large data, high volumes of data is there, then if you suppose user is demanding here, okay, user is sitting here and he is asking his result. So he will submit his query via search engine. So search engine has the responsibility to search data from his data pool, and you can see that this person is basically selecting the data from their data pool and putting the relevant data, and you can see that he is getting the response here and sharing with the human being. So the time response processing times, how much will be taken by the system, by the application, it is also a big challenge in front of us. Okay, the system that we have generated, how quickly is responding to the users in real time. Next challenge we have privacy and security. Privacy, because every users basically connected, it's have their profiles, it's have their privacy of information content. So if you are using smart services, then your informations should be protected. Okay, no one can access, no one can make change into your device, into your contents, or into your specific system. Okay, so there should be a policy, there should be a governing policy, how change will be made into that data, what service operations will be there, how information will be protected, how data will be managed, how your hardware, that means physical hardware, will be secured from the unprotected or illegal events, okay, through the spammers, and confidentiality and privacy. Suppose you have your Aadhaar card basically governed by the government, by the UID department, and no one can access your Aadhaar card instead of you, as well as the database administrator. So here UID is responsible if any illegal activity happen with your Aadhaar card, then you can arise a question that I did not use that particular feature, but my other card misused here. So at that time, these things are very crucial, and in particular environment, we need to take care about that. Okay, and security also required at the global level. Why? Because when we use or when we connected to the internet or or connected on World Wide Web services. Okay, so it's also a big concern here that you should able to protect and to control and manage your system at global level. So this is a core requirement in today time. Need quick response in real time when we are using various services. This is another example when we are using smart services, like you can say that credit card we are using for making the purchase. So at that time, how they ensure your detail? They basically validate your detail. Firstly, what you will do? You will give your card to the merchant. He will make request for the transactions. Okay. After that, he will submit the ticket to the issuer. Issuer is basically your bank. Okay. From bank, he will ensure and will check whether your detail is correct. If it is correct, then he will allow you and he will validate you. Payment will be deducted from your account. So at that time, you can see that in whole process, what timeline has been given. In that timeline, operation should be completed. If it is not, then what will happen? Your payment will not be completed. Yeah, any issue? So after discussing on these terms, now every points arises in around that what is big data. Okay, so about big data, we can say that the data generated in high volumes, in large volume, and very difficult to handle by the traditional data processing software is known as big data. Okay, you can see that here communications basically generating data. It's in message form, audio form, video form, okay, in calling form. So medical field also, industrial association also, vehicles also, and retail sector also. So when that data is coming and storing at a common place, now how that data will be managed and will be processed. Big data basically can be useful in real time, in banking, in technology, in consumer, in manufacturing, because we perform the big data analytics. Analytics, why analytics is required? To get the factual analysis for making the decisions for a particular business. Okay, data, big data can be stored large amount of data and can be processed and can analyze as well as visualize also. So big data basically analytics performed by using the machine learning, by using the data mining, natural language processing, and statistics are there. So many techniques has been introduced here to make or to perform the things in big data. There is example of big data. You can see that New York Stock Exchange. Have you heard about that? What is New York Stock Exchange? Basically, it's a stock website who basically provide the all information about the share stock. Okay, and it's basically generating around 1 terabyte data per day, 1 TB data. Second thing, social media, also an real example of big data. It's generating around 500 TB data in real time. Okay, and there may be videos are there may be photos may be there. Okay, text may be there. Another example of big data is jet engine. Jet engine also generating 10 TB data, 10 TB data in 30 minutes of flight time. That means when flight will start and after completion of travel, he will store everything in his black box. Okay, so you can understand, you can imagine that if in 30 minutes data is generated 30 TB or 10 TB, so what will happen? Because thousands of flight fly every day, okay, and they store data. So what will happen and how that data will be processed? So these are the three key real examples in real time. These are the basic statistics about the big data that are generated in real time by the social media. You can see that 45 million videos are watching in a 1 minute on YouTube. So you can see that 45 million people are watching videos on YouTube. Okay, some may be uploading video, some may be downloading video. Okay, 2.1 million snaps taken in 1 second. On Instagram, in Netflix, 188 million emails sent in a minute. So these are the basically statistics about the social media. 1 million people logging in Facebook in a minute. So this is the just basic statistics in that we have taken in 2021. Now you can see that how it is increased. So everyone is basically connecting on the smart platform on the social media and exchanging and using the services in real time. Transactional data also an example of big data. You can see that number of users are using online services like Amazon, Flipkart, Food Panda, okay, Zomato, Swiggy. These are the number of platforms who are basically providing you online services and you are getting instant bills also. When you order any food on Zomato, then he provide you a bill in form of PDF copy also. Okay. So that transaction data, what happened? That data is basically generating and processing, and after processing, individual voice has been sent as well as record has been forwarded to their server also, and that data also stored for the future time. Suppose you have ordered and you make an order on the Flipkart, okay, and after 2 days you you think that your product is not as per standard, so you can cancel your product, you can return your product. So how you will make the return request? You will go to the your login, you will request for the return, he will validate your detail. If your detail match, validate, then your order will be returned. Okay, so this is the whole process that will be followed in terms of transactional data. Stock exchange data basically is the data that we use in real time to comparison to make the knowledge of share market, how share is going on. Suppose you want to invest any money, then where you will get the information, whether your friend or whether your social market also. Okay, so very good thing is that go to the stock website and get the that what is the status in last 5 years of that particular share, how much returns I can get from there, and what will be the best option to choose which stock I have to choose. So all these what they are doing, they are also generating data. Suppose you want to check that what was the rate of Tata share in 2021, how you will get? You can go to the website and compare them. So what thing is there? All data has been stored and you have to make the analysis. Healthcare, in the healthcare department domain, number of smart machines are there, like MRI is there. Okay, MRI, CT scans, these are the smart services. Okay, and they are also providing and generating data. So all these things come in the factual analysis when we are performing it. Next one is live broadcasting. Live broadcasting is also a very, we can say that is a source where data has been generated in very large amount. We have, you can see that YouTube is there. Just 1 minute. Yes. Sorry for the interruption. Okay. Skin is visible to you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So live broadcasting is there. It is also a very good example where you can see that. Yesterday, I hope lot of you have seen the match of India and New Zealand. Suppose someone have missed that match, you can go to the highlight. You can see again in recorded mode. So now that data basically when broadcast in real time, it's also available, but it's also available in historical form. So it's also a source of data because that data will be stored somewhere in the memory. Okay, suppose you want to see the final of World Cup 2011, you can just go to the, you can see all the match. You can also see the highlight also. So this terminology basically giving you the opportunity to make, to access, to use as per your convenience. Okay. As well as big data analytics, this will also generate a lot of things and lot of opportunities for the real time users as well as for the real time working professionals also. Number of fields has been opened for the youth as well as for the experienced person like metrics and analytics specialist, BI and analytic consultant, analytic associate, big data analysis. You can see that big data analysis. It's have its own, it's have its own different fields. And now you can see that who have dual skill, business intelligence and analytic skills is very demanding in the today time, as well as solution architect is here. So in terms of job and career perspective, it's also providing a new domain to, to prepare yourself and to make their careers. Okay, this is the basically analysis that we have made in 2021 from Indeed, and it's a analysis on the market of US who are basically generating various sources, various type of jobs in the market for the technical prospects. Now, we have discussed about the data. Okay, data when it comes in size, then it's known as big data because big data basically cannot be processed by the traditional software. Now, what is the meaning of traditional and untraditional data? Basically, when we are following a data that have the specific data model, okay, or create under a specific relational model, then this kinds of data is known as structured data because that data will be accessed by the particular model. Okay, like SQL. SQL have their specific model. You can create data by create query. You can insert data by insert query. You can fetch data by select query. If you require any data to update, you can do it by update query. You require data from more than one table. You can use join query. Okay, but because they are using a specific data model, then this kinds of data comes in category of structured data. Second thing is the unstructured data. Basically, unstructured data is that kind of data who did not have any specific relational model like PDF file, like exe file, like image file, like video file. Because they have their format like exe file will contain binary data, image file will maybe in JPG, PNG, or it may be GIF form. Now, because that data only can be processed, but by using a specific technique. So that's the reason this data comes under the unstructured. Any question about that? Any query by anyone about the structured data and structured data?
No, sir.
I hope all is clear because I have already explained the uh, model that difference between structure and unstructured model. Okay, and third one is the semi-structured data. Basically, semi-structured data is the kinds of data that comes through the web forms. Okay, that's the environment that we are using by the web platform. Here we use the web forms. Through the web form, data basically submit, data basically travels. Okay, suppose any company open a vacancy, so how you will apply to that particular position? You will fill a form. You will apply it to the online application form. In that application form, what will be there? There will be name, there will be a whatever detail they require, and there will be also an option of to input your photo. So you can see that they are using basically RDF description framework. These web forms is basically known as description, a resource description framework. Why? Because it's also holding structured data. It's also holding unstructured data. Structured data, when you will input your name, it will be the combination of character. But when you will input your photo, then it will be in unstructured form. So that form will bind both kinds of information in a particular framework. So that is known as resource description framework. Okay. So these kinds of methodology or these kinds of data, that is known as semi-structured data. You can see that structured data Excel, it can be considered as a structured data. Why? Because it's have a particular format. Rows will be there, column will be there, and data will be stored into the cell. So by using the specific cell address, you can fetch your data. CSV file also, DBF file also. But semi-structured data again, doc file, email, okay, documents. So these are the semi-structured data. Why? Because they have structure, but they did not follow any particular, we can say that model. When you are going to store data, then data will be stored in form of page. But if you require to access any data, you need to visit line by line. Suppose you want to search, you have your resume, and in that resume you want to search about your qualification. So how that data will be processed? You will read line by line. Okay. Next one is unstructured data. MP3, MPG, JPG. These are the basically structures that we are using, and they have their own data format that we will use. So these are the three types of big data that we have in real time. Okay. So any query by anyone about that? Any question? Any query by anyone? Okay. Now you can see that we have an example of data accelerator tool that we are using in cloud computing. So you can see that there are number of data sources. You gaming platform are there, non-gaming are there, online sports platform, CRM applications also there, Google Analytics and affiliate systems. Some systems may be related to. So from everywhere data is coming. That data basically integrated here. After processing, you can see that data has been stored to the data warehouse. They are basically processing that data with that database by using the AI and ML techniques. And after that, they are generating results on dashboard, and they are generating results to the CRM application. So there are various tools that can be used. Basically, it's an example of cloud computing that we are using, and this is the data accelerator tool. Okay, you can see that PUBG is there. PUBG is very popular game. Many users can play at same time, but and you can see that progress of every player. So at the time, how you get the progress? So it is a similar technique that we are using in PUBG gaming platform. Okay. Now, characteristics of five big data. Basically, if we consider a data and or we can say that a data may be said a big data if it holds, it contains five characteristics. First thing is the volume. Volume basically of size of data that we need to analyze and process. That is the volume, or that known as volume. Second thing, variety. Yes, any question by anyone, please? Any query by anyone, please?
No, sir.
Okay, Mohit, your question is there. Can we consider data generated before 10 seconds as historical data? Basically, Spark is using here mini batch. Okay, and at that time he's also taking at least 25-second interval. But it may be possible that in future, when there will be some advancement or implementation in Spark, then it will also consider a historical data. But right now, the minimum batch size that we have 25 second. So it will not, we can say that a historical data, because 25 second has been defined, and batches or chunk of 20 every 20 in 25-second data is coming. It is basically used to process in Spark environment. Okay. It's clear to you, or I need to explain more?
No, sir.
Okay. So skin is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Second thing, the variety. Variety refers me when, because data is coming from various form. Okay, and various sources, and it may be in structured form, semi-structured form, and unstructured form. So when we have such kinds of data that's coming from various sources, then their varieties may be three form. It may be structured, it may be semi-structured, it may be unstructured. Then this characteristic is known as variety. Third one is the velocity. Velocity refers to the speed in which data is generated. Okay, suppose today has been generated 200 MB or 200 TB data. Tomorrow has been generated 400 TB data. So you can see here that data generation speed is in double. But when we see it in the terms of monthly basis or in weekly basis, it may be in terms of exponentially. Okay, so velocity refers to what the speeds of data generation in real time. Okay, how day by day data has been generated. Veracity, veracity refers to the quality of data. Quality, that means after extractions data from the data warehouse, what is the quality of your data? Because you have data in your data warehouse, and in that data warehouse there may be thousands or millions of records there. So from that data, how much accurate you are able to extract from your data warehouse. Okay, this is known as veracity. Okay, as I am giving example of CBSE result. Suppose a student was appeared in 2020, and now to 22 is going on, and he want to check his result again in website. Okay, so now you can see that now 2023 is going on. So if I will check result of that student, then I need to process 3 years data. Okay, so if I did not get the accurate result of that candidate, then veracity or quality of my data is not okay there. So veracity enforces that the data that we are extracting from the data warehouse, how much consistent and what the quality of that data. Okay, next one is the value. Value basically refers what is the value of that data that you are getting from your data warehouse. Because value refers to the valuability, means how much important that data is that. As I have searched result from that data warehouse, so it's basically the result for you and it indicates your eligibility. So it is the valuable data for you. Okay, so value always represents the business and their criticality to represent their ethical facts in real-time environment. So these are the 5 V's of big data that we think and that we consider about a big data. So any query by anyone, any question, any query by anyone? If you have, please you can ask about the 5 V's. Okay, so now because we have considered all these things, we have also discussed about the big data. We have also discussed about the various sources. We have also discussed the type of data we have. We have also discussed that what challenges we are facing in big data. So to resolve this issue, to overcome these problems, we introduced a platform that is known as Hadoop. Hadoop is a basically framework that is used to process the large data or big data. Okay, and it also has the capability to handle and store the large data in that generated in real time. Before starting the big data Hadoop, we can have a little introduction about the parallel with distributed computing. Basically, these are the two concepts that we need to learn, basic things we need to know. Distributed computing is the computing where we can see that a task is divided and it will be assigned to the individual resources and they will process their request and they process their result and they will submit their result. But what happened in parallel computing? In parallel computing, basically, you can say that multiple processor will be there and a single task will be assigned, okay, to process that request. So at that time, you can see that all processor are basically working on a single task T1. So you can see that it will be it will be very critical things that if this task has been divided into three T1, T2 and T3. Then until T1, T2, T3, both results will be combined together. That will be the result. Suppose T2 has been processed, T3 has been processed, and T1 T1 yet in processing state. So system has to wait until the processing of T1 processing is not completed. So these things require more resource and more waiting time. Okay, so parallel computing is beneficial, but it's have some circumstances or some conditions. So we are using distributed computing. Hadoop will use parallel computing, but how? So we will discuss in the ecosystem, Hadoop ecosystem. Now, what is Hadoop? Basically, Hadoop is an open source framework and it is used to store and process large data set. I have already discussed with you that big data basically has been a big issue, a big problem that we can process by the, okay, Hadoop, how Hadoop process that data? Basically, Hadoop use the cluster. Cluster, what is the meaning of cluster? Basically, multiple computers add in a group. This group is known as cluster, and a problem will be divided into the cluster. And after processing of their results, after processing of their results, okay, results will be merged together. So this is known as parallel processing in cluster environment. Okay. This is the HTM timelines of Hadoop, evolution of Hadoop. Basically, it was started by the two scientists of NUTS project, Doug Cutting and Mike Caffrell in 2002. In 2003, because these were two scientists that thinks about that, because right now we have traditional data. But what will happen if we have unstructured data? Okay, so at that time, Google thinks about that and they give a specific lighting on these two concepts and comes in 2003. In 2004, Google also released a white paper on MapReduce in 2004, and Nuts basically implemented NDFS system with MapReduce. In 2006, it's come as a sub project of Nuts, and in 2007, basically it was acquired by the Yahoo, and it was tested on 1000 node. In 2007, because Yahoo is the self-organizations and cannot distribute that software in freeware form. So in 2008, it's acquired by the Apache Software Foundation. Okay, and it was become the topmost project. In 2008, it was compared that whether supercomputer can work faster or Hadoop can work much faster. So in 2008, Hadoop defeat to the supercomputer. So at that time, industrial corporate thinks that Hadoop is the best solution to process the data that coming from various sources. It may be structured, it may be semi-structured. In 2011, it's was the first stable version released under the icon of Apache Software Foundation. In 2003 was to 12, Apache 2.0 was launched with extra additional components were added there. In 2017, Hadoop 3.0 was released, and in currently in 2020, this was the latest version of Hadoop. It was 3.1.3. So we will study about the Hadoop 1.0, 2.0, and 3.0. What is the core difference between all these versions? Because I think today time is over. Some time is already over. Okay. So in tomorrow's session, we will discuss that what is the Hadoop ecosystem, what is the framework, and how they are how there are different components has been added in different versions, and what are the basic roles of different versions in real time. Even there are many tools that also can be used to manage the big data. Okay, Apache Hadoop is there, Spark is there, Google BigQuery is there, Apache Storm is there, Atlas TI, Apache Cassandra, Hive, and Kaggle. But because in our syllabus or our project we have Hadoop, so we will study about the Apache Hadoop. Okay. So tomorrow we will start version and of Hadoop ecosystem, and what are the slightly differences, how Hadoop is different in 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and 3.1.3. So that's all about the today's session. If you have any query, please you can ask. Any query you have, please? Anyone?
Hello, sir. This is Mohit.
Yeah, please tell me.
Sir, I'm not available to attend classes on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So, can I get recording of
Yeah,
that
yeah, yeah. Don't.
classes?
Yeah, don't worry. In last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
I think
From
yes.
starting, sir.
Yeah, from started because this is the third session. Okay, from 16
Yes,
January
sir.
class was started, and it's
Yes, sir.
I think third class. So today I have joined. Yesterday, have you joined the class or not?
No, sir.
Okay, so for 2 days, I will try to share you recording in tomorrow. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so put to your email ID or send your email ID to me personally. You can put to me or you can put on group, not an issue. Put on group. We will
Okay,
share
sir.
your recording of 2 sets.
Okay, sir.
So
Okay,
please share
so
this. Sir, please share recording in the group.
no, recording cannot be shared, sir, in group because it's
Sir,
not possible.
sir,
Sir,
can you
listen.
share them? Can you
Yeah,
share them the
yeah.
PDF?
We will share you recording onto your drive because it's a around 1 GB recording. Okay, that is not possible to share on the group. How that will be
Sir,
uploaded into the WhatsApp?
sir, you may share PDF.
PDF. Yeah, it's a lecture. You can say that content. You are saying that You require recording. So recording was not possible, but I will share you the content that I have delivered today. Don't worry about that. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So thank you very much to join this session. Tomorrow we will meet on same time. Okay. So requesting to you all, please join the session sharp at 4 p.m. because every day 4 to 5 minutes I have to wait. Okay, it's a 60-minute session and 10 minutes we have just wait. I think that's not a good sign. Okay, so it can be more useful to you. We can make more 5 minutes in the session. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
okay, so thank you. Bye bye.